It might be difficult to deal with toxic people, but Stoicism can provide insightful knowledge and helpful coping mechanisms to help you stay calm and composed. The philosophy of Stoicism places a strong emphasis on reason, restraint, and morality in the face of difficulty. These are 20 clever strategies for handling poisonous people that are based on Stoic principles. Preserve emotional distancing. The practice of Stoicism emphasizes the significance of preserving emotional detachment from outside happenings, such as harmful relationships. We can develop inner peace in the midst of poison by realizing that while we cannot control other people's actions, we can control how we respond to them. Stoics encourage us to witness poisonous conduct without allowing it to disrupt our inner peace, favoring reason over emotional reactivity. This way of thinking enables us to respond calmly and clearly while separating ourselves from the negativity of toxic people. Develop empathy. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on appreciating other people's viewpoints while remaining unaffected by their negativity. Recognizing the difficulties or reasons behind toxic people's actions without endorsing their negative conduct is a crucial part of showing empathy for them. Stoicism allows us to establish boundaries, while yet appreciating the humanity of the toxic person by taking a caring yet detached posture. This method helps us maintain composure and gives us the fortitude and understanding to deal with toxic people in our relationships. Establish boundaries. In order to safeguard our integrity and well-being, Stoicism emphasizes the significance of establishing boundaries. It is essential to set and maintain boundaries that protect our mental and emotional well-being when interacting with toxic people. Stoics advise for firmness in declaring our limitations and refusing to surrender our ideals in the face of toxicity. By firmly stating our boundaries, we affirm our autonomy and self-respect, building healthier relationships and minimizing the impact of harmful behavior. Emphasis on virtue. The development of virtue as the ultimate good is fundamental to Stoic philosophy. Stoicism urges us to exemplify characteristics like patience, gentleness, and resilience when faced with toxicity. By putting moral integrity first and fortifying our character, we avoid reacting negatively to the negative actions of others. True strength, according to Stoics, is found in meeting misfortune with virtue and turning toxic relationships into chances for moral and personal development. Recognize impermanence. The practice of Stoicism helps us to recognize that everything is temporary, even unhealthy relationships. We can confront toxic interactions with composure and acceptance. If we recognize that they are temporary, Stoics remind us that all experiences, good or bad, are transitory and ultimately out of our hands. By acknowledging that toxic relationships are really transient obstacles on our path to greater understanding and inner peace, this viewpoint helps us traverse them with a sense of detachment. Practice mindfulness. A key component of Stoic practice, mindfulness enables us to develop self-reflection and present-moment awareness. Stoicism teaches us to examine our thoughts and feelings without attachment or judgment, which is useful when interacting with toxic people. We can recognize the actual nature of our responses to poison and make conscious, as opposed to reactive, decisions by engaging in mindfulness practices. This increased consciousness helps us stay calm in the face of toxins, which promotes better mental and emotional health. Pick your battles carefully. Stoicism promotes the wise use of all of our resources, including time and effort. When we encounter toxic people, we must decide if it is worth spending our limited resources to interact with them. The Stoics advise us to put our mental health first and concentrate on the important things in life, avoiding pointless arguments or confrontations with negative people whenever we can. We preserve our inner strength and keep our minds clear in the face of toxicity by picking our conflicts carefully. Detach from outcomes. Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on our deeds rather than obsessing on the results of other people. This idea serves as a reminder to stick to our moral principles, no matter what happens when interacting with toxic people. Stoics encourage us to act in accordance with our principles regardless of how others may react, emphasizing the significance of inner integrity over external validation. We can break free from the emotional hold that toxic people have over us and develop stronger inner resilience by learning to let go of our need for validation or approval from them. Practice gratitude. Stoicism encourages us to develop gratitude for the chances that toxic people present for our own personal development and self-discovery, despite the difficulties that they may present. Even in trying situations, We can discover meaning and purpose by reinterpreting harmful relationships as instructive opportunities for character development and resilience. Stoics place a strong emphasis on the transformational potential of thankfulness in building inner calm and resilience, which helps us manage toxic relationships with perspective and an appreciation for the lessons they may teach. Seek support. Stoicism understands the value of social networks and communities during difficult times. Seeking out uplifting influencers who can provide support and direction is crucial when interacting with toxic people. Being in the company of encouraging friends, relatives, or mentors gives us the emotional support and perspective we need to deal with toxic situations more skillfully. Stoics remind us that we are not alone in our troubles and emphasize the importance of friendship and shared wisdom in overcoming life's obstacles. Refuse to be dramatic. Toxic people frequently enjoy conflict and drama, and they try to involve others in their destructive pattern. The Stoic path counsels us to keep our cool and avoid getting drawn into pointless disputes or altercations. We can keep our minds clear and avoid getting caught up in the drama by remaining true to our values and declining to intensify unpleasant relationships. The practice of emotional detachment from outside disruptions is promoted by Stoics, which helps us deal calmly and clearly with poisonous relationships. Put your attention on your own improvement. Stoicism advises us to see interactions with poisonous people as chances for introspection and personal development. We can use these situations as catalysts for inner transformation, rather than letting them devour us with hatred or frustration. Adversity can enhance our resilience and expand our self-awareness, according to Stoic philosophy. We enable ourselves to overcome hardship and come out stronger and wiser by concentrating on improving ourselves rather than wallowing in the negativity of toxic relationships. Practice forgiveness. Based on the understanding of our shared humanity and fallibility, forgiveness is a fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy. Even if it could be difficult, Stoicism teaches us to let go of grudges and the need for vengeance while interacting with toxic people. We can develop inner peace and tranquility and release ourselves from the weight of holding grudges when we practice forgiveness. The significance of forgiveness in breaking out from the destructive cycle and promoting recovery and harmony is emphasized by Stoics. Keep a wider view. Stoicism pushes us to acknowledge that toxic relationships are only one part of our path and to keep a wider view on life's obstacles. Through the prism of Stoic philosophy, we can acquire perspective and distancing ourselves from toxicity. Stoics remind us that our own virtue and temperament are the source of our happiness and well-being, rather than being dependent on external circumstances. By keeping things in perspective, we may move through toxic relationships with grace and resiliency, understanding that they are only temporary roadblocks on the way to deeper understanding and fulfillment. Emphasis on inner peace. Stoicism teaches us that genuine contentment and satisfaction originate from inside and are not influenced by outside factors. Stoicism encourages us to put our inner peace and well-being first while interacting with poisonous people. We can withstand the storms of poison with grace and composure if we practice virtue and mindfulness, which cultivates inner peace. Stoics hold that our mental state is internal. Practice non-reactivity. Stoicism encourages people to remain cool and serene in the face of harmful behavior. Take a moment to think things through before responding to provocation, rather than acting on an impulse. You can keep your emotional control and stop toxic people from starting needless arguments by learning to be non-reactive. Concentrate on what you can control. Stoicism teaches you to accept the difference between the things that you can control and the things that you cannot. When interacting with toxic people, concentrate your efforts on the areas of the circumstance that you have control over, including your own behaviors and responses. You give yourself the power to respond to toxicity in an effective way, while letting go of pointless attempts to alter other people by focusing your attention on what you can control. Practice detachment. To protect yourself from the harmful impact of toxic people, develop an emotional distance from them. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the value of preserving one's independence and inner peace in the face of chaos outside. By engaging in detachment exercises, you build a psychological wall that keeps harmful conduct out of your inner haven and allows you to react calmly and clearly. Establish reasonable expectations. When interacting with toxic individuals, control your expectations and acknowledge that change can come slowly or improbably. Accepting reality as it is instead of how we would like it to be is a lesson learned from Stoicism. You may handle toxic relationships with more resilience and peace of mind if you set reasonable expectations for conduct and results. This will help you avoid irritation and disappointment. Put yourself first. See interactions with toxic people as chances for personal development and self-awareness. Adversity has a transforming power that fortifies virtue and character, according to Stoicism. You can develop resilience and knowledge by accepting problems as opportunities for personal growth. Eventually, you will be able to overcome the negative effects of toxic relationships and experience greater fulfillment in life. You may deal with toxic people in a healthy way and keep your emotional and mental equilibrium by applying these Stoic principles to your approach. Keep in mind that developing Stoic habits successfully requires time and work. It's a journey,